It's been a while since we've gotten some SM2 news. Hi, this is Leon, and let's go ahead and get right into it. So first off the gate, welcome. I appreciate you guys coming to this video. I really appreciate it a lot. Go ahead and drop a like and consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with all the news going on with SM2 and for hopefully some future gameplay in the future whenever they actually have more gameplay to show. So let's get into the first part of their new dev blog that they just put out about a week ago. Let's say a little bit more than about 10 days ago, we'll just say. I haven't really kind of stayed up to date with all this stuff, so I kind of wanted to get back into it. So let's go ahead and start off with the party and wager modes. I am extremely excited about this. I have wanted a Call of Duty to bring it back. Unfortunately, the original COD points ruined pretty much wager mode. There's no reason to have wager modes nowadays because COD points got replaced. They could just call them, well, what SM2 is calling them is credits. They're just calling them basically credits. So why can't Call of Duty do this in today's world? I have no idea, but they did announce some of the official game modes coming. So they are bringing back All or Nothing, Gun Game, One in the Chamber, Sharpshooter, Sticks and Stones, One Shot, One Kill, Knives Only, Infected, and they are also bringing, and I know there's one guy in particular that's going to love this, Fortunate, of course, is bringing back Michael Myers. They are bringing Michael Myers in official game mode to SM2. I know a lot of people are going to be extremely excited about that. I think, and this is just my predicament, I think that Michael Myers is going to be one of the, if not one of the most played wager matches, or Gun Game. I think Gun Game and Michael Myers are going to really be competing with each other. Infected is definitely fun. It's a little older, but I can see where people would also make that argument where Infected is going to be probably the most played. I see Michael Myers and definitely Gun Game most likely taking the cake here. And of course, they are, really working on these. They're testing all of them. They're trying to figure out what else maybe to put in. But as of this moment, these are the official game modes possibly coming to SM2. Let's move on to weapon updates, inspects, and camos, at least what they labeled on their website. They mentioned a huge part of the project consists of porting weapons from Call of Duty titles, and as such, we've ended up growing the development of the development team. So they grew the development team. It's awesome. They've grown. So they're not, nothing is dead. They're actually increasing their devs size. At least they're increasing their pool of people to assist with this project. So that's actually really good to hear. But let's continue. The development team, in order to work on these items specifically, so they have expanded some of their devs to bring them on and work on these individual changes. And let's go ahead and get right into these changes. First thing they note is the M320 grenade launcher inspect. Very cool. So it's showing that items and weapon attachments can possibly be weapon inspected. We've got the FMG9s coming from Modern Warfare 3. Very cool. We're also, if you guys didn't know, we see 2 new maps being showcased in SM2. Of course, they had to put Overgrown as well. Of course, they got some Modern Warfare 2 DLC. Of course, it's based on the actual Modern Warfare 2 engine. So, of course, we're going to see Modern Warfare 2 maps being in SM2. But as well as Overgrown was in COD 4, but this looks like the Modern Warfare 2 version of it. So very cool, very, very cool. So a few things that they are actually changing and implementing right now with some of the weapons at least. So these weapons were most likely already confirmed on their weapon list, but it's very cool to go ahead and see them have an actual update to it. So with the Vector, they had the Ghost variant of that Vector. It looks like they're going to be replacing it with the Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remaster version of the Vector. Honestly, I am okay with that change. I wasn't a huge fan of the Vector from Ghost. The one that came from Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered, I think that's going to look pretty cool, especially in SM2, a more modern looking gun inside of SM2 being ported over. Very cool. So they were going to use the Black Ops 3 M16. However, that has been replaced with the Modern Warfare Remastered M16A4. Honestly, I'm okay with this change. Apparently, during testing, they said, we are not satisfied with the porting quality of that weapon at all. And the weapon made it feel very odd to use. So they are basically mentioning here that during their testing with the Black Ops 3 M16 variant, they just didn't like it. So they went ahead and went back and they went to the Modern Warfare Remastered M16A4 version. Honestly, I'm okay with the change that they felt it felt odd. And, all of these guys have been playing Call of Duty for a while. So if they obviously clearly thought that it felt weird to use. So I'm actually I am completely with this change. I love it. So let's go ahead and move on. They did add the Sten into the weapon list. They had the Black Ops 3 Sten that was originally going to be in there. It looks like that has been replaced with the Infinite Warfare Trencher. So the Trencher was just another weapon that, I mean, it pretty much looked like the Sten at the end of the day. I mean, if not almost just like it. But so they're deciding to use the Infinite Warfare Trencher now. I think that model looks a lot better. I think it's going to be, the animations are probably going to be a lot smoother with the Infinite Warfare Trencher. So it looks like they were going to add the Black Ops 3 Man of War into it. However, again, another weapon that has been yeeted off the list, and it is being replaced with the World War II AS-44 variant. So they said ditto for this one. While the quality of the weapon was acceptable, we felt that the Man of War did not sit right with the rest of the weapons. So they basically went through and they've been testing this kind of stuff. And this is why development and these type of projects take so long. I know kind of going on a spiel here, but like this is why testing needs to happen before these games come out. Think about AAA titles today, man. Just think about it. I know I'm going off topic here, but just think about it, man. They don't test these kind of things before they come out. The team working completely for free, right? Not getting anything from this is basically testing their weapons before they go out. So they're going to test this stuff, and it looks like they've yeeted out the Man of War, and they're bringing in the World War II AS-44. Another surprise weapon come to SM2. I'm extremely excited about this one. I don't know why. I have a kind of a love relationship with this. Like I really love this sniper. Out of any other sniper in any other Call of Duty, I still love the World at War PTRS-41, the iconic, very loud 50 caliber weapon. It was just awesome. I loved it in World at War. It was just the reload animation back in the day, the bolt that would go back, and you had to basically slide up to inject the round into the chamber. That it's just, dude, I'm sorry, but that weapon is amazing. Right here, this one is a bit special, as we don't normally touch on World at War weapons, because the game is using a unique approach to sprinting animations that isn't compatible with other games, and also because they're much lower quality in general. So that is right. So the models that, the model of the one coming from World at War, it's not going to look exactly pretty, right? But the fact that they added it, and the fact that they went ahead and tested this weapon is really cool. So they're happy to announce with with all of this, that in this update they've announced they've added a new weapon. Very cool. They've also added the Infinite Warfare Oni. I'm honestly not familiar with this weapon. Apparently it lacks accelerated fire rate features. So apparently it's a second energy based weapon to be joined. So it's an energy based weapon that they're adding. So looks like they're adding just different variants of guns to kind of be in the mix. So not only do we have bullet guns, but apparently they have like energy guns. I'm not really sure how they're gonna work with that kind of stuff. I have no idea, but that's gonna be my opinion on it. I don't know what the weapon is. I'm eager to see it, eager to test these energy weapons they're mentioning about. Hopefully it doesn't interfere too much with the actual realistic style weapons, but we'll have to just see whenever testing comes out. Moving right along, they are moving into camos. There's not a whole lot of updates here, but they are mentioning they are using what's called a masking process, just how Modern Warfare 2 did it. So if you know Modern Warfare 2 styled camos, even custom camos that have been in likes the IW4X or Plutonium, any of those clients that have custom camos on it, I'm pretty sure it's going to be relatively the same. It doesn't look like they really want to go into like gold, chrome, and animated camos at the moment. However, they have shown us an early work in progress of a gold camo on an AUG from Black Ops 1. So I'm really curious about all of that stuff as well. I'm not like crazy about camos, but I know a lot of people are. They're really eager to earn them and apply them. And I know a lot of people have been asking about animated camos. That's going to be probably something a little difficult for them, but I'm pretty sure they're up to the test for it. Pretty sure they're doing a lot of internal testing. That sounds like a whole lot of work that I don't understand, but hopefully they can maybe show us one day a showcase of some kind of animated camo, just to kind of get our hopes up a little bit. So I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me right now, but I think the best thing in this entire dev blog has been their grenade and equipment subsection of this new blog. So I'm going to go in full detail with this one because it really interests me, And I think this is pretty freaking awesome what they're implementing, especially with all the gifts and everything that they've been showing up on their website. So a few things that have been added to SM2. So they went ahead and designed or they implemented the heartbeat sensor to be a tactical equipment, kind of like how it is in Modern Warfare 2019. And the reason for this, as they explain, is because they would have to go through every single weapon to put a heartbeat sensor and animation and everything on it. And honestly, I would even admit that I was in one of the Discord channels a long time ago watching a live stream. Now that this is already out in the water, it doesn't really matter, but I was watching a live stream and they were trying to put a heartbeat sensor on a weapon that didn't really support it, and it was having issues. And I can see why they went ahead and opted to stop working on that, because it didn't make any sense at the time to continue to try to fix it. So what they did is they implemented a tactical heartbeat sensor where you actually hold it in your left hand while your gun is still, well, it looks like it's hidden actually in the screenshot. So possibly when you take it out, your gun is actually hidden at the time, so you can't really shoot it. So you can actually see how in the GIF where when he pulls it out, the weapon disappears and then he pulls back out the weapon after you put it away. So I think that's a little bit more balanced. I think being able to hip fire while looking at your heartbeat sensor, that might be a little too OP in my opinion. So another thing, something that is really awesome that Modern Warfare 2 did not have, we've reworked the effects of the flashbang and stun grenade. So this was a big thing, right? So I'm gonna read this in full. The blinding effect of this flash grenade has been changed. The intensity now changes based off the angle at which the player is looking at the grenade. So basically, it's just like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, CSGO. When you look away from a flashbang, as you can even see in this GIF, the flashbang intensity, dwindles. So if you could hear a flashbang hitting against a wall or hitting in a place, if you could see it, then you could just turn away from it. Very, very cool. In my opinion, I think that they should figure out how to change the flashbang timer so that way it gives somebody somewhat of a chance to be able to look away. I know that's not realistic. However, if they could figure it out to the time that it actually explodes, then I think that'll give more people of a chance to look away from that flashbang because it's so fast. So that would just be really cool. So this allows you to look away from the flashbang and avoid its effects. The stun grenade effects also has been touched up. We've decreased the intensity overall and significantly reduced the tinnitus effect. So essentially that just means probably a shorter time that you're disoriented and all that kind of stuff and can't aim. So it sounds like they just reduced that time of the stun grenades, which is great because honestly, in my opinion, I abuse the stun grenades, man. I know you abuse them if you play Modern Warfare 2 at least. We've all abused flash and stuns. You can't lie to ourselves if you were basically lying to yourself if you've never abused them. So I think that this is a great change and I think it's a great balance. So I'm not going to really go too much into this one. The trophy system has been implemented. Great. This will also, again, prevent people from, flash banging certain rooms. In my opinion, I think the trophy system's kind of dumb. That's just me. It's my opinion. Doesn't have to be anybody else's opinion. I think the trophy system only incentivizes campers and things like that. So it will block like things from, anything. It'll block, it'll incoming fire from enemy launchers, predator missiles. It's crazy that it'll block predator missiles, but it is a thing that it will do. So in my opinion, I think it's just I think it's just a camper's tool, and I'm not really a huge fan of it. The biggest one that they have implemented out of any change that they have done, anything, and this is the most requested out of any other item in the game, it seems, they have introduced the stem shot. The stem shot is coming into SM2. It seems that they have completely fleshed out the animation. They've got the feature working. So the stem shot will be showing up. However, if you read through the actual article, they do mention that they want to make sure this doesn't become the default option and ensure that the rest of the tacticals are still a viable choice. Now, I kind of understand that, right? I get it, but Modern Warfare 2, there wasn't Modern Warfare 2019, rather, I should say, did not have a whole bunch of people running the heartbeat sensor. I mean, what tactical did you run? You were either running a concussion grenade, flash grenade, or a stem shot, and most people were running a stem shot. So I think that, unfortunately, regardless of what other they put on this blog, I think the stem shot is going to be overused. It'll possibly have to have a longer cooldown if it even gets replaced. It looks like that you only have one per life as part of this gift that they've shown. So you can notice when he uses the stem shot in his tactical gear, it just goes away. So it doesn't look like it replenishes, and I don't think it should. I think it should only be a one life thing. It should definitely not replenish over time. All right, guys, I'm going to quickly skim over this one, even though I don't want to discredit it at all. I know that they have been working hard on the HUD and the user interface. The user interface means a lot because, like, for controller use and things like that, a lot of people complain over the years that when you have a menu that is hard to use, it's just not enjoyable. So I'm going to say I give them the full props for the menu. Looks great, beautiful. I'm not crazy like about menus and things like that. I think just being able to just have a functioning button that you can click is good enough for me. But however, I know a lot of people really like having other options to be able to do certain things. So they've updated the music menu, by the way. They've updated the music track menu, rather they should say. So they made it a little bit more presentable. And the biggest thing for me that the older Call of Duties didn't have, I think it's really cool. Just like Modern Warfare 2019 and all the future Call of Duties after it, they have put in a performance overlay so you can see your FPS and all that kind of good stuff on the top left. I don't know how customizable that'll be. It'll be interesting to see if you could see your performance and latency and all. I mean, well, it looks like you can see latency, but just other items like CPU usage or RAM usage or whatever, everything in between, anything that the current features have. I don't know how far that can go, and I don't know if it's overstepping onto what it can actually read, but however, it is there. So I just wanted to touch on that. That's about it. They've updated some of the UI for the scoring and some of the gameplay rule settings in private matches and things like that. Moving on to the last piece of information that we got from this new development blog, more and more kill streaks. We're starting to see some actual gameplay and forwards of GIFs, because these are just GIFs. These are not videos. These are GIFs that are being put on the website. So let's go ahead and go over the first one they've added. They've added the War Machine. Very cool. Can't wait to see what that's going to look like and how much that's going to be abused, because we all love noob tubes, right? But we'll have to see how the War Machine works, and we'll see if we can see some gameplay of it eventually one day. So they've also brought the AC-130 and Predator missile. They have a new interface and sounds. We do not know what the sounds sound like just yet because we don't have actual audio of them. We just have the GIF versions and we don't really have any videos. So the fact that they've added this stuff is very, very cool. But the biggest thing that they are working on, and I want to preference this as the last piece of the information in this video, that they are working on a drivable gunship, kind of like the one from Black Ops 1. However, this is in very, very early prototyping. They want to emphasize that this is a very early in the making possible drivable gunship, kind of like you could do in Black Ops 1. The Modern Warfare 2 engine apparently doesn't really work very well with vehicle driving, and it's just kind of weird. So they're having to script a lot of this stuff from the ground up, and hey, props to them. I'm glad they're still looking into things like that, making it a little bit more unique. So anyway, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video. I really appreciate everything. Thank you for sticking right to the end. If you did, drop me a like, leave me a comment down below, man. Tell the developers what you want. You could just clearly write it down there, and they may see information in my comment section that'll help them further develop SM2 a little bit more. So anyway, guys, I really appreciate it. Again, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.